Alright, good day, good day, good day. Alright, I've been dragging with this to figure out if I wanted to just either drop it over to someone else to get it done, or for me to take it out, then for me to actually have somebody else to put the springs in. Oh, I'm sorry, let me tell you what we're doing. It's for a 2000 Infiniti, put on the front driver's side strut. As you can see, this is the original strut that came with the car. So, if you guys saw my other previous videos, you have to forgive me. I don't have a, this is on a Zoom, tablet Zoom, so I don't have the, the tripod and all that good stuff. If enough people to subscribe to my videos, then guess what? I said, hey, listen, I might need to go ahead and get that and provide you a clear conceptual view of everything that I'm doing here. Until then, let me just tell you what we're doing here. And actually, you can just follow these simple steps. It's never that simple, but you can follow these simple steps and you can just follow with me. So, what I took the liberty of doing, which I should do on all projects, is get out all the tools that I will need for the job. Now, just to even start this up, you want to first say, hey, listen, why do I have to replace this strut? Why do I have to replace this strut? Well, the reason why is because if you feel like you have no suspension in the front, I'm talking about like the car is bottoming out, like bang, 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 then that means you need to go ahead and replace the strut, or you need to investigate what the problem is. Now, let me back up for a second, because this might be an issue for somebody else. Now, this car actually came in because the car was not moving. Alright? Some people might think it's a transmission, but first, before you dabble with the transmission, see if the axle popped out. Some people say, damn, I just have no idea why the axle popped out. This is the reason why this axle popped out. Upon further investigation, I found out that in a tight turn in a very bumpy road, the axle popped out. Now that would make sense because it had no suspension to stabilize the car and give a little bit of lean to it, and all that pressure was on the transmission and axle. That's where all that was, the CV axle, also known as the drive shaft. So that's the reason why the axle popped out. So I had to first, you saw the other video on how to replace the wheel bearing. We're not going to go into that, but it was very tedious because of how it was set up. But I might as well say it real quick. The way we replaced that CV axle, I'm going to go very quickly, so you might have to rewind it. I had to first take off the this nut here, brakes, alright, brake holder, alright, remove the shock extensions right here, remove the rotor, the nut, spindle nut, all that good stuff. Tie rod, as you can see, replaced a new tie rod while I was over there. And then from there, this whole thing comes off, this whole steering knuckle comes off. You move that out the way and you pull the CV axle out. Same thing in the reverse order. Alright. Was it that easy? No. Alright. Did it take a couple days to do it? Yes. Alright. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to the video that you went ahead and searched, which is to do a front strut for 2000 Infiniti, or you can use the same concept for any car. Alright, so this is what you got to do. Sorry about that. This is what you got to do. You got to first jack up the car, secure the car. Those are the basics, alright? But this is what I would do. You can use metric, but I'm using an impact. So I'm going to tell you what I'm using for my impact. I'm using a 3/4 on this side, 17 millimeter on this side. You can also use an 18 and 17. Alright. You got to first take off these bolts right here. Of course, you got to use this one. That's where you're going to use your ratchet. Be taking it off. and this is where you're going to be holding it so that bolt won't be moving. You take these two off. Once you take these two off, then from there you need to unhook, what line is this? Yeah, your brake caliper line. You're just going to push this out, right? And then this is going to come off from that strut. And then from there you have your ABS sensor line. You're going to actually push this out and that come off. And you might need to, we'll see, you might need to take off the tie rod. I'm not sure about that. It depends. I should be able to just bring this steering knuckle after I remove this. I should be able to just to bring it back or at least turn it. I'm not sure. But once you take those off, then you come up here, and this is a 9/16. You got 1, 2, 3. You take these 3 off, the whole thing drops out. Alright, so this is part 1 of it. Let me first knock this out, and I'll be right back. Because this is real time, and because this is, I'm dedicated to showing you the good stuff and the bad stuff, so that you can see the mess up so that you don't have to go through it, okay? Alright, so what ended up happening is, you see that? Yeah, what's that? The joint came out. But why did the joint come out? Why did the joint come out? I still think it's a good thing because that just tells us that that joint is still suspect. Needless to say, what happened was what was it? I had the actual jack stand on the lower control arm, right? It was supposed to be on the frame. So what ended up happening is when I took off those bolts that I was going to tell you I was going to take off for the strut, those 2 bolts, the tension, and we're going to get to that in a second because I'm taking my time with that, but the tension from these coils pressed out onto this entire steering knuckle, the knuckle right here, steering knuckle, pushed it out, and of course since that doesn't have any play, and that's tight, that ain't going nowhere. The only place for it to actually come out when it was pushing down on it was the CV axle inner. So I don't know if you can see that. You should. But I'm going to have to just take this back off, and I might just do a video on how to install a CV axle, since hell, that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to reinstall it. So anyway, but we'll focus on this. And when I get this changed out, I'll go ahead and put it back up in there with the new strut. Where's that new strut? The new strut right there. Hopefully I'll survive, because to everyone, and this is the one you got to get. You got to get the strut master. Alright, that's the person that, McPherson strut, whatever. Yeah, that's the person that developed anyway. What you got to do is, you got to put these on the opposite sides. You can get this from AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, wherever. Put these on the opposite side. Yes, I'm using an air tool to hurry up and get it down, but just be careful. Use these safety latches. Make sure that it has a little place inside the spring, so that when you get ready to if it pops off, it should catch those latches. It's probably not going to happen, okay? It'll probably end up shooting somewhere, and I don't know, maybe breaking something, whether it's you, the car, something. What I do is, I don't call it being scary, I call it being admonished. I get behind something, and I typically just hit it from there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and compress this. It will be like not a ticking bomb, but it'll be like a bomb, because it will be very unstable if you do something wrong. So anyway, let me just go ahead and hit this first, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm trying to give everybody the heads up. If you feel like I'm trying to scare you or something, I'm not trying to scare you, but at the same time, I want to let you know how serious this is. It's pretty serious. It's just as serious as you're working on the rear end of a car, and you're under it, and you didn't secure it. and the car comes and crushes your face. I mean, it's real out there, guys. So you need to really make sure that you pay attention, okay? You really want to take your time on this part. Hear what I'm saying again. You really want to take your time on this part, all right? You don't want to be in a rush. You want to check things 4 or 5 times because this is a lot of tension on here, a lot of pressure, okay? So you really want to make sure that you're taking your time. So what I did was I went ahead and used my air tubes and I got it down. Now, the question too is, how you know when I've already compressed it enough that I can take it off? What you want to do is you want to be able to, check this out. You see that? You see that gap? And you see how this right here at the bottom, right, is separated from the top there? That's what you want. Alright, you want that play. I could go on further, but this should be enough where I'm taking this, what size is this? I'm taking this 11/16. I'm going to go ahead and start to unscrew it. Now the tension should be all on here, so I should be able just to unscrew it. Carefully take that off. Then get ready to reinstall the other one, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Remember, I don't have the tripod, all that fancy stuff. So just bear with me, but just really take your time with this. Even if you got to watch the whole video, a couple other videos where you can actually physically see them doing it. Do what you need to do to make sure you remain safe, okay? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take off this bolt here, and then from there, I should be able to take this off, remove the actual strut, take the springs, place it on the other one, and get ready for install. Alright, so just bear with it. So the last step was what? We had to take off that screw, which was, I don't even feel comfortable being this close around it. So it looks like this. We're putting a new one on, okay? This is what came with it. But that's that one screw. Once that screw, well, once this boat washer, whatever it's called, once that comes off, right, then everything will just fall off. You carefully remove it, okay? Then what you do is you get the new one, okay? Now, I'm not going to attempt to do this and have the recording at the same time because I want to make sure that I focus, make sure I'm doing it correctly, because again, this is a dangerous procedure. This has a lot of tension on it, okay? If these latches were to come off, it could possibly be detrimental. No, it would be detrimental for something around, whether it's property or your eyes. You really need to focus. So I'm going to focus and I'm going to come back. When I come back, as you saw, I already took off that one bolt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the strut. I'm going to place the strut into the coil. Just slide it back the way it was before, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it through this hole here. I'm going to place, and this is what I heard, but I'm not going to do that right now. I heard that you want to prime it and all that good stuff. But what I do is I place it through the hole first, right? And then I'll start to do a little screw down. And then I will, I believe you're supposed to turn it counterclockwise. We'll figure that out later. But we want to first have this in, and then I'll let you know if I had to turn that to have it released for it to go up and out, okay? For it to be extended like that, if that makes any sense to you. So let me do that, and I'll be right back, all right? A lot of tension. All right, so we just went ahead and tightened up that one bolt. Remember that bolt I had showed you? Now this bolt actually keeps the coils locked in, so this is very important also. You need to make sure that this bolt is tightened. Now, here's the thing. This is how it should look. Let me first show you how it should look. See how far it goes in? Looks like about a ½ inch. Alright, you need to make sure that's tight. And the way you do that is you look at the actual strut, you make sure it's not turning. What I did was, when I had my impact on it, if you don't have air tools, that's fine. You just hold this, because this will be moving at the same time. If this is moving at the same time, then you know that it's not actually tight. It's just going and swirling out with the strut. So you need to make sure that you tighten this and hold this, and you should be good. Now, moving to the final stages, what you want to do now is, remember I got 3/4 on this. You want to unloosen the compressor on each side equally. So that means if I do 10 seconds on this side, do 10 seconds on this side. If I'm using an air compressor, alright, or air tools. If I tighten, or if I loosen it 10 times on this side, you want to do it 10 times on that side. You want to evenly let it go, okay? Alright, and that's what we're going to do. Now, granted, if it works out fine, everything will go in place, and then all I got to do is reinstall. Now, I'll probably just do a separate video on how to install a CV axle, because I still got to come back and do this. And it makes more sense to me, at least, since the CV axle came out and I get all that coverage and the strut out the way, it makes more sense for me to first put the CV axle in before I put the strut in, okay? Because you can see as the strut is going to be fairly straightforward as far as putting it back in. You line it up to the top, which is these here. You tighten it up, and then from there you put the steering knuckle in, and then the ABS sensor, and then the caliper hose. That's it. Alright? So, even though we're at this point, take your time to make sure that when you're coming off with that pressure, that is right, okay? Okay? And as you can see, we got that lip here, alright, that space, because it's compressed. Alright? I'll tell you what. No, I'm not. I was going to show you with one hand, but again, we just focusing on safety here. And we want to make sure that you do it right, you stay focused, and I stay focused, showing you. So, that's pretty much it for the strut. To go back, just do like a recap. I like to do recaps. Alright. First thing you want to do is jack up the car and secure the car. Alright. Make sure that you put your jack stand on the frame. Alright. Do not put it on the control arm, or you might have something like this where all the tension pushing down from the strut pushes out your CV axle. Again, this is real time here. This is no edits. It's the real deal. So we're going to show you our mistakes also. It didn't tear up anything. I got to take this, but I hope you enjoyed the video.